AI is top of mind for advisors here at the Wealth Management Edge Conference. But how are advisors using it, and how can they use it even better? I'm joined today by Michelle Winkles from Mission Wealth. Welcome. How's your time going here in Boca Raton?
Well, thank you. It's going great so far. I've seen so many great familiar faces and meeting some new people. It's awesome.
It is so great to be here. And really, we're talking about AI and marketing. Tell me, how are you using AI and marketing right now? And ultimately, how should advisors be using it better?
Well, not only do I use AI for work, but I use it daily. If you were to look at my screen time, you would think ChatGPT is my best friend. So yeah, if you think about how we're using it in marketing, there's so many different areas. I mean, there's so many great tech tools today that you can utilize as an advisor for marketing or as a marketing team.
Yeah.
One that comes immediately to mind is just the daily use AI tools like Grammarly.
Right.
You know, you can install that on your entire computer and use it in your Outlook programs or through your emails. It really helps you set your tone and clean up your grammar just to sound more professional, whether you're communicating with colleagues or clients or prospects. So hands down, it's just something, a must-have for a marketer.
Absolutely.
That, and then also we all have meetings in this new world where a lot of us are remote. We're holding more Zoom meetings or GoToMeetings, and Zoom AI has a really great tool where it can record the meeting and then summarize it after with takeaways and to-dos and follow-ups. There's another program, Jump AI.
I was going to say Jump's, I'm a big fan of Jump. It's something I'm using all the time, and I love it as a great tool for that.
Yes, and our advisors are finding so much more efficiency using that. And I just started using it as a marketer for my meetings. It helps me organize. I am just now able to be 100% present in meetings instead of like jotting down so many notes and have notebooks full of notes. Now I just fully can be present and listen in a meeting, and it records it, transcribes it, sends follow-ups, and it goes straight to the CRM. So that really helps with efficiency.
And how many times have you finished a meeting with that notebook of notes and you've got the number 13 circled with an exclamation point and you have no idea what it means? Now with Jump and all these other tools, you can be like, okay, hold on a second. Why was this such an important number that I had to circle an exclamation point in?
Exactly. And if you're someone that is in meeting after meeting after meeting, like myself, or I'm jumping into the next one, I don't have time to sit and sift through and, collaborate, like build all my notes back together and try to figure out what to do next. So it really just saves me time. And that's what AI does, is it saves you time.
Now these advisors are not marketers. So they oftentimes are looking and thinking about it, and how can I use AI to get started? Maybe when it comes to content that they can either use in an email or social media, how do you leverage AI with your content and content marketing so that it's improved and better?
Well, we definitely use it for all of our content, but we don't make it an end all, right? So you don't want your brand, or you want your brand to showcase who you are, right? You don't want AI to decide that for you. So it's very important to think of AI as an enhancement tool, not something that's going to give you everything, right? So what I like to do, an analogy, I guess, that I would like to share is think of AI as a personal assistant that you just hired. Like, let's say I just hired you, Matt.
Thank you.
And I need you to plan an event for me. I can't just say, plan the event for me. You got to prompt your assistant, tell them everything you need, give them a background, who's going to be there, what you expect, what's the entertainment, how much is it going to cost? Think of AI like that, right? You want to prompt it, feed it all the information about your firm or you as an advisor, and tell it what you need, and then play with it, right? Keep building on it. Don't just take that answer and use it, right? The better you prompt, the better your AI answer is going to be.
And to take it one step further, I love to then give it back the content at the end and say, hey, I made these changes and edits, learn what my voice sounds like, learn the edits I made, and ultimately, just like with a good new assistant, you need to give them feedback, like you said, but also that postmortem of, hey, we planned this event together, here's other things that I did to enhance it, so that ultimately it was a great experience.
Yes, and a good example of that, you're 100% right, is add in who you are, right, and who you're representing. So for me, I'll be like, my name is Michelle Winkles. I am the Chief Marketing Officer of Mission Wealth, a national RIA firm. here's a link to our website, I upload the brochure, here's our voice, right?
Yeah.
And then you want to say, whatever the event is, I want to create an event invitation. Help me write that. Help me design that. I want it to have this aesthetic. You can be so specific. And then you can keep going with that conversation, right? And you can say, okay, now I want to create a follow-up email. You know, I want to create a piece of content about it. I want to write an article. And you can keep going, and it remembers everything you prompted it previously with.
That's amazing. That really works well. So what are some of the do-nots then? What are things we should not do with AI that, you know, ultimately some of the do-nots so that ultimately we get better with AI here?
One thing that comes to mind is be careful using it without any kind of prompting, like I just said.
Yeah.
So I guess I would look at it as a compliance concern.
Oh, that's something I didn't even think about.
Yeah, our compliance team has actually flagged some pieces that advisors have used AI to create content for. They're like, this actually really doesn't make sense, right? Or it's just maybe not 100% compliant in its terminology. So one thing I would recommend is use the prompt when you're uploading a piece of content. Please review this for compliance. Use the SEC regulations that are up to date for this year and tell me if there's any red flags.
Oh, wow.
That could be a great way to have a compliance team as your AI, right? And run it through there. Save your compliance team time.
Yeah. So all this can sometimes feel overwhelming, all this AI stuff. What's one tip, one way for advisors to get started on their AI journey with marketing?
Well, one tip is to play around with it.
Yeah.
Use it personally. Get comfortable asking it to do day-to-day things that affect you. I do that daily. I mean, a couple examples. My garage door wasn't working. I have ChatGPT on my phone and I said, okay, I have this model garage door and it's making this sound, you know, help me. And it feeds out answers. Remember, like AI is answer optimization. It's going to answer. It's not going to give you like Google search responses where it has links and then you have to dive deeper.
Right.
You ask it a question and it will provide an answer. But the more detail you add to that question, the better answer you'll get.
AI is AO. That is amazing advice. Thank you so much, Jordan. Great ideas, and I appreciate the conversation.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
For Edge TV, I'm Matt Ackerman.